season with ring night against KD and the Houston Rockets. We've got the Christmas Day slate on ESPN and ABC. Cavs Knicks, could that possibly be an East Finals preview? We also have LeBron's record 20th Christmas Day game on a packed night. Another important date for the league. We have the full MLK Day schedule for January 19th. Of course, ATL always front and center here. They will host the Milwaukee Bucks. And now, hot off the presses, we have the NBA Emirates Cup schedule that just dropped this afternoon. Here's some of the biggest dates starting in the West. The 2025 Emirates Cup slate is full of those big matchups. West Group C features the Warriors and Nuggets. Steph leads the Warriors to play Denver to play Jokic on November 7th. How about West Group A? They're headlined by the reigning champs, the Thunder, and the team they beat in the Western Conference Finals, the Timberwolves. Those teams are going to meet on November 26th. West Group B has the latest chapter of Luka Doncic against the Mavericks. Last time Luka faced off against his former team, of course, he dropped 45 points in what was a very emotional night. Those teams will play on November 28th. Hi, everybody. I'm Vanessa Richardson. I am in for Malika Andrews. We've got Sinead Ogumake. We've got Mark Spears with me to sift through all of this information. Let's start with the big game that everyone can now circle on their calendar, Mavs at Lakers. Now you add the NBA Cup, all of that drama into the mix. Sinead, what are you watching for that first matchup?
I'm watching two things. First things first, Cooper Flag, what do we say about him? He's built different. He's built tough. I want to see him go up against LeBron and Luka. We know that will bring out the best in the young rookie. But also, if you're going to try to go micro a little bit, the weakness of the Los Angeles Lakers, they addressed by getting DeAndre Ayton. I want to see the front court as well. But as we look at Cooper Flag, we know it's going to be showtime. I mean, this has all the tentacles. You have the competitive firepower. You have the inside-outside game. You have him just trying to exert his dominance as a rookie against LeBron. Like, we're going to get those moments that we're going to play on highlights here on this show for years to come. But then also that front court, that's what I'm looking at. Like Gafford, Lively, AD. They're going to be wanting to punish the Lakers, especially knowing that the Lakers, that's the area, that's where Luka made, he helped make them, and now it's like you flip-flop, you roll reverse. So I think on both sides of the ball, whether it is the guards, the posts, the wings, the forwards, like there's so many cool storylines.
So you ready for the video?
Ooh. What's the movie?
I'm going to still call it Staples. I'm never going to change it.
You have to.
The video
you can't get with the times.
The return to Anthony Davis, his return playing against the Lakers for the first time. I'm curious to what the Lakers fans feel about him, feel about his legacy in the Lakers uniform. I mean, he averaged 25 points and 11 rebounds and 2 blocks a game for his 5.5 season career. Is it worthy, because he's going to be in the Hall of Fame,
I have a feeling.
Is it worthy of putting that jersey in the rafters? Jamal Wilkes, he's in there. He played a couple more seasons, 8 seasons. But Anthony Davis won a championship, won an NBA Cup. I don't know, Lakers fans care about that.
They like the championship more.
But
oh, do they?
Did he do enough to get his name in the rafters?
I don't know. I'll have to think on that.
Speaking of LeBron and AD, guys, there's always drama on the gram. You know, there's always drama on Instagram. Did you see this yesterday? They both posted the exact same images, LeBron and AD, to their Instagram accounts. Quote, "Becoming the best version of yourself sometimes comes with a lot of goodbyes," end quote. We have no idea if there's a deeper meaning here. But Mark, what do you think of this post? And I feel like we have to pull out the Brian Windhorst. Why is that? The same quote on the same day.
I don't understand the AD part of it, but in terms of the LeBron part, the tea leaves are there. It's the end of the road. Should we get Boys to Men playing or something like that?
We've come.
Oh, don't do that.
We're not trying. Oh, you talking to her or to me?
Both of y'all. He said that we're going to miss him when he's gone, using Drake, right, or Jay-Z, and then now he's golfing. When do people start golfing? They start golfing because they have free time, especially athletes. They start golfing when they need something competitive to do, right?
Golfing is the thing you can do until age.
Why is he starting to golf now?
Maybe he just has a new hobby, Mark.
That's a hobby that OGs take when they don't have to work no more. OG athletes take. So I'm just wondering if all these tea leaves are there in this latest tweet that tells us it's the end of the road.
Hey, don't send the bill to me.
Did I do it better?
No. Don't send the bill to me.
All right.
I don't want to be messy, but like at first I was like, how's the relationship between the two? I know that was a tumultuous last year, but we all know these guys are brothers. So going off of what you're saying, if this is the end of the road for LeBron, you see him playing golf. I don't read too much into that. I more so watch him doing Pilates alongside Queen Savannah. That's what I watch. Because that's what keeps you top tier form. Pilates is like the ultimate foundational, every woman, I'm speaking the language right now across America. Like Pilates, we've seen multiple players do it, but it just shows that he is so great at his craft, and it starts with his body work. I mean, if LeBron wanted to play probably 2-3 more years, he absolutely can if he made that choice. If he wanted to play golf during the free time, he absolutely can. I'm not trying to say one and two are connected.
Could play more.
But if this is, we do know that LeBron James does do subliminals. And so if this is the beginning, you know, we better soak everything up.
Yeah.
I love the videos of LeBron and Steph and how hard they're still working out at this age, too. I mean, guys that are OGs, guys that are veterans that could just coast, but they're putting, like you said, Pilates, so much into it. All right, let's continue to talk about the Cup. The east side of the Emirates Cup, Group B, has one of the oldest rivalries in NBA history. You've got the Celtics and the 76ers. They've met in the playoffs more times than any team in league history. They face off, let's get spooky, on Halloween. Speaking of playoff matchups, Group A sees the Cavs looking for revenge against the Pacers, who, of course, knocked them out in 2025. That meeting happens on November 21st in Indy. And Group C has the Knicks, who have very high hopes heading into the season, taking on the Bucks at Madison Square Garden. That's going to be on November 28th. Giannis and company will look to run it back after winning the Cup last season. So that first Sixers-Celtics game is going to be interesting. Last year, we saw a total of 15 games. Just 15 with Embiid, Paul George, and Maxey on the floor together. Shanae, are the Sixers the biggest wild card in the East?
Absolutely. If health is on their side, we're saying, like we always do, and sometimes it makes us feel the biggest if in the NBA. What's the saying? If ifs were fifths, we'd all be what?
Drunk.
Drunk. If Embiid's healthy, this is a team, this is a guy that's an MVP. This is a guy that can pace, you know, the NBA at the top 3 or 5 in scoring. This is a guy that could also win DPOY. They also have Paul George, who's a certified 20-plus bucket, whom we need to see consistently as well. They have Tyrese Maxey, who has been dubbed the franchise by Joel Embiid. And people sleep on Jared McCain, out to injury early in the season. He's someone that was definitely in that Rookie of the Year conversation. They have a lot of strong players. But if I am a betting woman, would I bet on them? Absolutely not. Because we have yet to see it all come together. And I feel for Philly.
They're really excited, I'm sure, about those young players, but this team and their success does rely. Absolutely. But their success is going to be due a lot, of course, Mark, to those older guys.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it. I think they need to give their trainer a raise.
Yeah.
or therapy. Make sure they have therapy.
But my wild card, I'm gonna go with the Orlando Magic. I think a lot of people expect them to take a jump. Can they take a jump in terms of competing for the Eastern Conference? Yeah, they're definitely the wild card, and it's because of that guy right there, Paolo Banchero. He's outstanding. Wagner's going to make his first All-Star team along with Paolo. They're going to have 2 All-Stars this year. Getting Bane from Memphis is huge, quietly huge. They needed some more shooting. They needed some defense. They needed a veteran leader who's played in some big games. He could do that, getting Tyus. And then they're young, talented players, get older. Just keep an eye on these guys. I really expect Paolo to make an MVP caliber jump.
All right, we do have breaking news this morning. Another NBA team is changing hands. Shams Charania reports that NHL Carolina Hurricanes owner Tom Dundon has agreed to buy the Trailblazers from the estate of Paul Allen for a valuation of over $4 billion. Mark, anytime you have someone buy a team that does not live in that team's city, the questions always begin. Will the team stay in Portland?
Yes, the Allen estate has made it where anybody that bought team has to keep the team in Portland. So Blazers fans, you can certainly take a breath of relief. The team's not leaving. And their new owner is quite interesting. Yeah, he's a Texas guy and Carolina guy, but he turned around the Hurricanes in terms of, you know, making them a winner. And he also has refurbished their arena. He's going to refurbish this arena, get it ready for the 2030 Final Four, Women's Final Four. And let's see if he could add some extra juice. But he's an owner that will be a new NBA owner, but I think because of his NHL background and pickleball and other things he owns, I think he's going to do it the right way.
Do you play?
I was going to say, pickleball's hot.
I'm scared of my Achilles.
All right, still to come on.
Support for you.
Still to come
my Achilles.
on NBA Today. The Fever's comeback falls short against the Wings as Indy remains without Caitlin Clark. We've got an update on her status with the playoffs a month away. Plus, opening night in OKC, baby, the Thunder will raise their first championship banner with Kevin Durant in the building. Oh, and my beloved Rockets fans won't have to wait long for Kevin Durant to make his Houston debut as KD will lead his new squad to his old stomping grounds in OKC on opening night. We now welcome an NBA reporter, Tim McMahon, who covers all things Texas NBA, all things Rockets. Tim, what were your first impressions when you saw the league schedule makers worked their magic and decided to have KD in OKC as the Thunder raised their first ever banner?
Howdy, Vanessa. I had a deep appreciation for the NBA's feeling for how to create a little bit of drama. How do you create drama with a bunch of Boy Scouts raising a championship banner to the rafters? You bring back the guy who spurned that city almost a decade ago. And look, Kevin Durant's free agency departure has kind of loomed over the Thunder franchise for years now. They got out from under that shadow last year. Obviously, this is about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder, a championship team, perhaps a dynasty that's blooming in Bricktown. But look, even Game 7 of the NBA Finals, what was the biggest story of that day? It wasn't Game 7 of the Finals. It was Kevin Durant being traded that morning, kind of his pursuit of happiness continuing now to a fifth stop of his NBA career. And where better for that edition of Kevin Durant's career to begin? Where it all began, back in Oklahoma City, and they're finally celebrating a championship there.
However poetic opening night may be, do you think it's going to serve as that closure for the Thunder organization and their fan base?
I mean, this will be one heck of a litmus test. Is this going to be about the angst of Kevin Durant or the celebration of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, of Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and this team that just reeled off 68 wins, just won a championship, has a chance to potentially be a dynasty if they are ever going to not forgive, but kind of forget about the anger towards Kevin Durant? It will be on this night. Having said that, I'm not sure that he will ever be fully forgiven in Oklahoma City. I'm not sure that number 35 will ever be up in those rafters alongside that championship banner.
Might I add that Steven Adams and Jeff Green will be there too? Maybe that'll soften things up a little bit. I don't know, Mark, do you think the bad blood is there to stay?
It's time to let it go, at least from the Thunder franchise. I don't know that the Thunder fans are going to let it go anytime soon. But, like, I covered Carmelo Anthony his first 8 seasons or his first 4 seasons in Denver, and that bad blood has never went away, and now it looks bad. Carmelo's going into the Hall of Fame, and there's still not an olive branch between him and the Nuggets. And I remember seeing Vince Carter tear up when he went back as a player to Toronto, and they healed. Melo never got that. So what do the Nuggets do now? Now Joker is wearing his jersey. He deserves his jersey to be retired there. He's one of the top scorers of all time, and I think the Thunder need to get ahead of it. Do some things to make Durant feel good about his time there. He won an MVP. He led them to their first finals. He's going to make the Hall of Fame. Be the bigger person and get him back into the fold.
Be the bigger person. Asking that fan base that was in their feelings.
Thunder as an organization to be the bigger person.
Oh, you're saying that they're not the fans.
No,
Good clarification. Kevin Durant is a legend of the game. One of the 3 players that we are celebrating yesterday, I called them the trifecta, LeBron, Steph, and KD. Mm-hmm. KD coming back, I don't think it'll be welcome arms, always cheers, but it is momentous because it showed that the franchise has turned the page. They won a championship, and now turning the page maybe allows you to appreciate the past, and having Kevin Durant is great. The one thing that I love about this game is not just, what's happening outside the lines, what's happening within the lines. These are 2 teams that will compete for championships based off of their construction for the years to come. The Rockets finished number 2 in the West, and they added the piece that mattered, the one that will help boost their offense. They already have Ime, they already have the defense, they have maintained their young core, which includes an all-star in Alperen Şengün, and now you have the generational player that is going to hopefully bring them to the promised land. But the team that is literally trying to stop them, we get them on night 1. When they get their rings, when the banner drops, when you have the MVP and SGA, when you have these rising stars of Chet Holmgren and obviously J-Dub, it could not be a better situation. But I do think that there is some kind of absolution in the fact that this is the only franchise, this is the first time the franchise has a championship since Seattle, ever since it moved to OKC. So there's some peace there, but I don't know if the peace is gonna, mean KD's going to be crying. I don't think KD's going to cry.
I don't know that KD's going to be shedding tears, and the NBA schedule makers definitely have a flair for the dramatics, that is for sure. All right, bringing it back to the here and now, the Rockets made a big splash trading for KD, but despite Houston being eligible to sign Durant to a 2-year, $118 million extension, no deal has been reached. So, Tim, I'm going to bring you in on this. Why do you think Rafael Stone and the Rockets front office are holding off on this?
Because there's not a sense of urgency to get it done right now. The Rockets have other business that they need to handle this summer, primarily the extension for Tari Eason. Look, it was a big splash. It was potentially the final piece that they needed to be a real deal contender, that go-to guy that they were sorely missing last season. Big splash, but they didn't push all their chips in. They were very patient as far as the pursuit of a trade for Kevin Durant. Matter of fact, I wouldn't say they pursued it. They waited till the price was at a value that they felt was comfortable for them. Kevin Durant's their best player. He's not necessarily their priority, and that's not an insult to him. Their priority is making sure that they have as long of a runway as possible while trying to cash in on this window that they created by getting Kevin Durant. And certainly, I think both sides want that to be more than a 1-year window, but it's not going to be a max extension. If that was the priority for Kevin Durant, it would have been done in conjunction with the trade, and he probably wouldn't have ended up in Houston. So I think you're going to see both sides take a patient approach. They will work together. But again, I don't think this is an urgent situation. And even if they get to camp, even if they get to the start of the season, if it's not done, I don't think you're going to see panic from either side. They want to work together. They want to position themselves to win a championship. And the Rockets want to be positioned to contend for championships long after KD has hung up his shoes.
Tim, I was nodding my head the entire time because one of my favorite parts of the Kevin Durant trade is that the Rockets did not give up all of their young core like a lot of teams do to get superstars. So, Mark Spears, do you like the way the Rockets are playing this?
I don't. I remember what happened in San Francisco, his last season with Golden State. The longer it takes, or if it doesn't happen, it's going to be something that's going to be talked about every day. And that's just how us as the media are, and Kevin answers questions. And I know it was a nightmare for Kevin and the Warriors his last season at Golden State, and it caused a lot of stress for him. And if this kind of action returns to Houston, I think this kumbaya that y'all two are having about how amazing the Houston Rockets are going to be, it's going to be a cloud that's going to be, you know, Kevin is honest. He holds his emotions on his sleeve. And if he gets asked about that every day, it's going to be a distraction.
But
I'm laughing at Shanae, by the way.
I mean, I might be like the Rockets spokeswoman right here, but the circumstances of him going to Golden State, that was a whole different circus that he had to deal with. Same thing with Brooklyn and same thing with Phoenix. Yes, it was of his own. No, but what I'm saying is that when he first went there was a lot of criticism on him going.
Okay.
This is a different circumstance.
Right.
Going from Phoenix now to Houston, you can just tell. I saw him recently a couple weeks ago, like, he's in a good place. Now it's just playing basketball and competing and trying to win a championship again with a new core.
And he and Ime getting along so well. He and Rockets assistant coach Royale Ivy being very good friends.
But we are 100% on the same page.
For sure. Thank you so much.
They're looking at that 2027 with Amen Thompson.
That's right. All right. The Slim Reaper is a professional scorer and, of course, could continue his march up the scoring record books this season. KD could end up as high as 5th on the NBA's all-time scoring list by the end of next season if he plays in second place finish, just 1 pound shy of the $3.9 million first place prize. Shanae, first of all, you know that 1 pound is killing Michael Jordan. Where would fishing with Michael Jordan rank on your bucket list?
Well, if he got 1 more pound, I'd split the prize money with him, so very high.
That's awesome. Next up,
a 71-pound marlin.
That's a lot. Also, I love that his yacht is catch 23. That's awesome. Next up, the main event. Play on words there. A giant corn maze depicting Cooper Flagg was created near his main hometown. Flagg's family and friends helped create the 5-acre maze. Mark, do you love corn mazes? Do you hate them? I'm from Indiana. I love them.
I hate them. I have bad nightmare memories. I was in Paris Disneyland last year, and I got stuck in the Alice of Wonderland maze after the Olympics. I'm yelling sortie, which is French for exit. I'm just lost, man. Somebody took video, which was cold-blooded of them to do, and it was raining. It was raining cats and dogs, so
you got
I
lost
eventually got out.
In a corn maze at Disney World. That's truly incredible. All right. Next up, here's James Harden with live streamer and content creator Lacey. Take a listen.
out of every teammate you've ever played with, if you could give your best starting five that you would want?
Whoa, like primes?
Yeah, with you in it.
Dang, that's a good question. All right, let me think. Center, Joel Embiid. I thought about Dwight, like in his prime. Whoa, let me start over. Yo, that point guard position is crazy. You got CP, you got Russ, and you got Kyrie. Let me just go. Kyrie, Russ, me, KD, and Joel. I like that team.
Ooh. Sinead, what's your reaction to Harden's all-time starting five of his teammates?
I'm not mad at it. It's legendary. The only thing that I'm laughing at is you're not going to give your teammate a nod?
Yeah, I was going to say.
You're not going to give Kawhi a nod?
No Kawhi.
Like a champ too? No Kawhi? Yeah, like, no. I think it's cool. And they've only been playing together for 2 years. So, you know, maybe the third year will add him, but I don't like playing subtraction, so I'm happy with this one right here. Happy.
All right, moving on to Bradley Beal, the three-time NBA All-Star and St. Louis native, threw out the ceremonial first pitch at Busch Stadium ahead of that Saturday's rivalry game, Cubs-Cardinals game. While in his hometown, Beal also discussed why he chose to sign with the Clippers. Check it out.
You just signed with the Clippers. Where are you at in your NBA journey?
I need a ring. You know, I want one bad. And I feel like I got a new life of rejuvenation, for sure, a new hunger. I'm excited about the opportunity, new city, new environment, but a hungry environment too. You know, I'm definitely excited about the opportunity to go win.
I like that Bradley Beal just said it. He needs a ring. Sinead, which player in the entire NBA, when you take inventory of everybody that doesn't have that sacred ring, who needs it the most?
I really, really, really hope that someone who just landed again in Los Angeles, Chris Paul, gets a ring. I really do. Because, again, we mentioned LeBron, KD, Steph. Chris is of the same generation and is one of the greatest point guards we have ever seen. I mean, top of the top when it comes to assists. Also, one of the stats that I love is every time he plays on a team, their winning percentage goes up each and every year. These are the numbers that I'm talking about, but also this is his Hall of Fame resume. Obviously member of the 75 team, 12-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA, 9-time All-Defensive, so he does it on both ends. Rookie of the Year, one of two players with 20K points and 10,000 assists. Who's the other? LeBron James, legendary. And on top of it, if he were to win a ring with the Clippers, I don't know what the city would do.
Well, the Lakers fans wouldn't root.
I mean, clearly. But it would just be that much more impactful considering what he means. I mean, how often do we see fans see a player well over 30 and say like, oh my gosh, we're so glad you're back because you're a part of the identity. You're a part of the fabric of this team. And so, Chris, we're rooting for you.
He was so emotional at his press conference, too.
Everyone was.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Jimmy Butler. Third time could be a charm if the Warriors could get back to the finals. I know he finished the season very unhealthy. Steph as well. Obviously, the Warriors got a lot of things to do. But Jimmy has said he doesn't want to be in the Hall of Fame. But I think if he could get that, he pushes his way in even further.
James Harden in that discussion as well, of course.
That's a 2-for-1
for sure. All right. Shifting from Bradley Beal's new team to his old team. 5 years ago today, the Suns were shining bright with a perfect record in the NBA bubble. You remember that? Let's take a look back at our NBA Today Time Machine.
Phoenix will finish 8-0, the only unbeaten team in this return to the NBA.
Devin Booker and the Suns had an impressive run in the 2020 NBA bubble, going undefeated with an 8-0 record. Booker averaged 30 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and then head coach Monty Williams had high praise for his young team.
We're not the Suns of old. You've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. And it's hard to play the way you play every single night and not get the respect that you deserve. Guess what? You got it, okay? Don't let anybody take this away from you. You gain the respect of the league, okay? Now we got to build on it.
We know what happened next. They made the 2021 NBA Finals, took 2-0 lead, but that was as good as it would get. Phoenix would lose 4 straight games, seeing Giannis and the Bucks win it all. That loss propelled the Suns to make some serious roster moves, first trading for Kevin Durant in 2023, then Bradley Beal that offseason. In total, those moves led to one playoff series win. And the changes didn't stop with the roster. The Suns enter next season with Jordan Ott as the latest head coach for the franchise. Ott is Phoenix's fourth different coach in 4 seasons. Devin Booker's $72.7 million projected average annual value passes SGA's Supermax deal for the highest in NBA history. And as you can see here, no deal had even reached $63 million per year before offseason. And now Book is tied to Phoenix for the foreseeable future. So, Mark, what would a successful season for Devin Booker and the Suns look like this coming year?
This probably sounds grandiose, but I think making it to the playoffs. A lot of respect has not been put on Book's name. I think he's obviously one of the elite shooters and elite players, but when you talk about the top players in the league, he oftentimes gets forgotten. This is Book's chance. He's been the face of this team. Now he's also the voice of this team. There's no Chris Paul. There's no Kevin Durant. I think he has a chance to really, really put his stamp on this team. And I remember seeing him in 2017. Like, don't let his kindness look like a weakness for him. He is an extreme competitor. I saw him will the Suns yell at the crowd in 2017 to keep Russell Westbrook from getting another triple-double that I think could have broken the record at that time. He needs to bring that same fire to the Suns, same shooting ability, leadership, and push this team to a place that people aren't expecting them to. I think he has a game to do it, and he has the opportunity now.
He has the game to do it, but does he have the team to do it? I'm just thinking about their grand exits of Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, which is probably a combined 40 plus 45 points per game. I mean, we know what he's capable of. The thing that I love about D-Book, it's not just that he has an opportunity to lead literally as the number 1 option again. He averaged 26 last year. It's a fact that, I want to, ask my researcher, Jason Joseph, I think he averaged 6 or 7 assists. He was up there when it comes to facilitating. We all know by now, hopefully you're not sleeping on it, defensively he's capable of, of taking the both ends, being a two-way player. But that assist factor, if he can up that to, and the number is, thank you to our producers, 7.1 assists. If he's able to take that to like 9, which by the way, that 7 is a career high, he's going to be able to step into the next level of his greatness, commanding a team like the great point guards that are able to do. But it's going to be harder without those stars, and it's going to be harder knowing that they were already with those stars looking on the outside looking in.
There were only 2 teams in that bloodbath of a Western Kings facing Kelsey Mitchell and the Fever. All right, let's get to that one. No Caitlin Clark again for the Fever as Indiana takes on Paige Beckers and the Wings to the third quarter. Dallas 8 off the
a little
Fever.
volleyball, sis.
Tips the loose ball up herself, then finds Maddie Siegrist on the break for the hoops plus the foul. Sweet play by Beckers on that setup. All right, to the fourth quarter we go. Beckers uses the screen and hits that mid-range pull-up. Ooh, look at that. Beckers ties Cynthia Cooper for the second most games with 15 points and 5 assists by a first-year player in W history.
He's so good at controlling the tempo right here.
All right, under a minute left in the fourth. Fever are down by 3. Kelsey Mitchell gets inside and hit the layup. All right, so this puts the Fever within 1.7 seconds left, a 1-point game. Mitchell gets the inbounds in the corner. She misses the game winner. But check out the frustration from someone on the bench on that last play. On another look, you see Caitlin Clark pleading for a foul on the play, coming on the court after the buzzer to yell at an official. Clark clearly upset with the officiating. The Wings are going to win this one by 1 point, 81-80. All right, now let's bring in WNBA insider Alexa Philippou. Alexa, the Fever have avoided setting an exact return date for Caitlin Clark. What do we know about her progress?
Yeah, Vanessa, we know that Caitlin Clark has done some full court running over the last week or two, and the update as of Monday is that she was able to add more in that regard and doing that full court running as she works to build her endurance after not doing anything for so long. But she has still not returned to practice. She has still not returned to any sort of team activities yet. And I think with her being out for so long at this point, you also have to expect that the ramp-up period for her to get back on the court is going to take longer as well. And so for the Fever, there have been 11 games that Caitlin Clark has missed since that July 15th injury. They have 11 regular season games left before the playoffs, so some time, but not a ton of time to get her back incorporated, and they've stayed consistent that they are not putting a timetable out there in terms of when we could see her back on the floor.
Yeah, I know Fever fans want her back. The Fever, by the way, are getting pretty thin at guard with season-ending injuries to Ari McDonald, Sydney Colson, Shanae At what point does Indy get anxious kind of about the return to Clark's lineup,
Yeah, I think they're probably getting a little nervous right now, but the good news is that we're sort of seeing a little bit of like the tiredness. I was at the Sparks game recently, and all the players were like, it's been a long season. Again, a record number, 44 games that they're having to play. And so you're seeing it wear on players and on teams. But the good thing is Kelsey Mitchell has been a straight-up bucket this entire year. She is an all-star. She is capable of consistently giving you 25 and playing the 1 and 2. And also, if we have the standings, here they are. I mean, this is the Mosh Posh. Is that what I call it? Mosh Posh? In the middle of the W standings.
Wow.
Look at, let's say, starting at 5 with the Aces, 9, and then also going down to 10. 12.5 are the amount of losses, so about 3.5 games of separation to really see if these teams can really make a boost and try to solidify their spots in the standings. So I believe Indy, they're in the mix, but they definitely have to string together the final 11 wins or so.
Yep. All right. The Liberty kicked off a 3-game road trip against the Sparks in LA last night. The starting 5 really showed out in this one. For New York, second quarter, Jonquel Jones starting us off. Jones catches it on the perimeter and nails the 3.
That's what she's
with
known
21.
For. Come on.
Jumping to the third, how about Emma Meesman? Meesman gets it inside, lays it up,
Slytherin.
plus the foul.
Slytherin.
She finished with 24 points. All right, later in the third quarter, Leonie Phoebish gets involved. She catches it on the wing. She knocks down the triple two, Shanae. She finished with 20 points. And to the fourth quarter we go. Natasha Cloud is up next. She drives it to the paint. She's just going to lay it in. She finished with 11 points. And last but not least, Sabrina with the icing on the cake.
What she loves to do.
Drives and finishes with that layup. She finished with 14 points. Liberty starting 5 all finish in double figures as they defeat the Sparks 105-97. And check it out, their head coach celebrating her 101st win as Liberty coach, the most in franchise history. That's awesome. The Liberty have been without everything. Breanna Stewart for the last 8 games. Alexa, what's the path for her making her return to the court?
Well, Breanna Stewart told reporters this weekend that her goal is to get back by her birthday, which is 2 weeks from today. So that is a little bit of time. I've heard that she's actually tracking really well and that thus far she has not had any setbacks in her recovery. So hopefully Breanna Stewart can be back by her birthday in a few weeks. But there is some more good news, I think, coming out of New York. Kennedy Burke is expected to return tonight after being out for the last 2.5 weeks with a calf strain. So that's one more front court piece back for them. And I think if there's any silver lining that they can take from Breanna Stewart being out, from their front court being so thin, it's that they've been able to really get Emma Meesman some reps, some playing time, and it's really allowed her to get acclimated to this Liberty system in the second half of the season.
Alexa, I was just going to say, she got her birthday present early. That's Emma Meesman. It's wild. She is averaging in her 5 or so games playing with the Liberty 14 points, 5 assists or 4 assists around there. She's shooting 50, 87. This is someone who was a WNBA champion, a WNBA Finals MVP. She just dropped 24 on 9 of 15 shooting from the field, plus 9 rebounds and 4 assists. Emma is the ultimate gift to a team that is the defending champs, that also acquired Natasha Cloud, that also has great depth, that has JJ healthy, and they're just waiting on their MVP. They're all everything, like the rich get richer.
Depth is always a good thing. Thank you so much, Alexa. You always have the best insight. Appreciate your time. All right, now, Shanae, huge news came out of Valhalla on Monday.
Is that how you're going to say it?
Giant purple
Valhalla.
A giant purple egg hatched prior to Valkyries practice. And then at halftime, this happened. Their game against the Sun, the WNBA World welcomed Violet to the mascot. World Vi for short is a raven, which is traditionally a sidekick to Valkyries in Norse mythology lore. And just like ravens, she likes shiny, sparkly things and leaves glitter in her wake. It sounds like we're talking about a Disney movie. Shanae, do we have a new challenger to Ellie's throne of the Queen of Mascots?
Sis, Ellie.